You have come here to become teachers. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
You are learning, that's okay. If you do not know how to obey, you shall not know how to command. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
If you cannot obey, reason may be any. You shall never be in a position to command. And if your five tattvas cannot obey, your five tattvas cannot, shall not, will not command. Doesn't matter how much you study, how much you read, how much you know, and how much powerful you think you are. You shall never have the grace to penetrate. Your words shall never have the power to make other people obey because you have not obeyed. Doesn't feel good, right? No. Our normal tendency is, I don't want to obey, but I want to command. If your inner self, the inner essence, the inner being has not the capacity to obey the teacher, you shall never become a teacher who shall be in a position to command a student. This is the law of golden rule. And this law you can never break. Difficult, right? It is difficult. It is? What do you mean, no? You know, don't be stupid with me. It is difficult, I know that. When I started with my teacher, we were about 258. I don't exactly remember, something like that. When we finished, we were left 3. And I tell you my own story. One day I was just fine. And my teacher told me, he said, we are going to go to the district office and you come along with me and you will put your English suit. Okay. So I wear a suit and tie and the whole thing and pant and boots and polish and, you know, very business class you call it here. Correct? You know what I'm saying? Well, we were going on the way, he said, how tall this tree can be? I said, about 20 feet. He said, as you are, can you go up? I said, yes. Very stout, strong. So I held and I put the boots on the side, which was very difficult. But I made it to where the split was. Then he said, well, stay here till I come back. Got it? Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
How many of you will stay with that teacher? I came back 3.5 days later from that tree. He left me there. And when I came down, he said, oh, come on now, let's go. and never said, how was it, what happened? I mean, are you alive? How you went to bathroom? How you did this? Not a word, man. Absolute nothing. Let's go. We went. 4 or 5 days later he said, come here, sit down. What did you learn? I say, I learned how to sleep on the tree. I learned how to poop on the tree. I learned how to pee on the tree. I learned how not to fall. And I learned how to eat. What do you learn? I say the young leaves of the tree are very sweet and eatable. Old ones are bitter and neurotic. And the tree had splits, 4, 5, 6 splits, and every split gets water in it. So I said, one splits where there was water, I kept that for drinking, other to clean myself and wash my hands. And he said, how did you poop? I said, I sat between the 2 branches and let it go. What else? How did you sleep? I say, I didn't sleep pretty good, but because I knew there are 20 feet down, and I did tie a few branches, and that was good. It was nice. What was the difficulty? I said, this damn suit. That was very difficult. Why? He said, because you said, stay till I come back. Be here, as you are. Do you remember, sir? I said, yeah. So I must still tie is on. When I came down, I was still the same. Because on that tree, I said, what he has said means something. Because teacher gives you experience and preacher gives you philosophy. And without experience, you can never become a teacher. You become a parrot. There's a difference between a wise teacher and wise parrot teacher. They quack everything, they know everything, they can talk everything, but there's never an experience. You will ask questions. Teacher sleeps with the students, teacher steals from the students, teacher... You have million experiences and million stories, and I have heard all that. I have gone through it. From teacher point of view, you also betray, you also are treacherous, you also lie, you also think your imagination are true. You also seek sexual and sensual flirtation. You are a Maya too. But between the lines, if you want to understand, do not accept a teacher ever if you have to have a question. Don't. Be friends, visit, have fun. And especially in Kundalini Yoga, we do not initiate. If you are that much standardized idiot that you cannot initiate yourself, you don't need to be initiated. That's the law. Second law in Kundalini Yoga, itarashtam tatargashtam. Empty hand you come, empty hand you go. So you must pay first. Kundalini Yoga cannot be taught until the fee is first paid, peta. So there's no obligation. You pay the teacher, he teaches you, matter ends. There's no relationship. So if you don't want to sleep with him, don't. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
You are forgetting. I know. You are gringos. You have not been properly oriented. You have come here to become teachers. This is not a class where you are just students. And you take a class and go away because you paid a couple dollars. When I used to teach and students will never had the money, I used to go and cash the money and throw it in the parking lot. So they can collect it and come in the class. And some collected never came to the class. But it was part of the game. We never break the rule. You serve, you do business, you live your life. But if you're a teacher, then the Mother Nature and the Divine and the God serve you. There are two ways to live. One is you love God, other is God loves you. A teacher is loved by God. Man loves God. There's a difference. So if you want to become teacher, you just understand you are the beloved of God. Therefore you shall not beg, borrow, or lie for existence. You shall not ask. Everything shall come, and in abundance. Because you are the Lord of prosperity, you are power of the player, and you are purity of projection. These three things you must understand. They belong to you when you are a teacher. As a matter of right. It's not a favor. And whatever comes to you as a teacher, it comes from God. It shall go to the altar. If it doesn't go to the altar, it will ruin you. One wrong action of a teacher, next is a cockroach. So it's better you keep a cockroach around you. Teacher fault, whether he escapes this word and justice of this word, or somebody harms him or not, and somebody abuses him or not, or he abused somebody or not, it doesn't matter at all. One wrong action of a teacher, the entire divinity granted you next lifetime, and the next lifetime is a cockroach. And those who, but first of all, I told you, very point clear, don't have a teacher. It's not written that you should have teacher. But once you have a teacher, guru, teacher, whatever you call him, spiritual teacher, spiritual guide, spiritual friend, idiot, spiritual idiot, doesn't matter what you call him. It's your concept. But once you call it and accept it, never deny it. Because then only you can be redeemed in that linkage. You cannot be redeemed otherwise. Doesn't matter what God wants and what it does. That's called law of final destination. You each have a longitude and latitude on which you are born. You understand that? Every town has a longitude and latitude which was you born. And from a teacher you will learn altitude and attitude to rule, to command. Purkha must make the Prakriti obey. That's the rule. But because it's a Western word, it's not a mature word, it doesn't have the aspect and respect of the teacher. Therefore, when you become teacher, speak the truth. And if somebody doesn't want to hear it, doesn't want to obey it, diplomatically dip low on the mat and slip out. Understand? And then never teach that student. Just become a friend. That shit is not worth even looking at. And that is your divine privilege. There's no forgiveness in it. These are some golden rules. Otherwise, that student will become your destruction. Because then you teach out of attachment, not out of truth. Students have to only directly or indirectly disobey once. In your lifetime, you cannot teach that student. Help him, love him, serve him, inspire him, guide him. Give him anything you want, but never give him the teachings. And teaching is not what I am giving you. Teaching is when I say, you are taught. That's the beginning, that's the middle, that's the end of teaching. Because you are Western, you think teacher teaches, discusses, philosophizes, lectures. You listen to the tapes, you read the books. I know that many thick books. You are all blind, deaf, and stupid. Stupid of the extreme insane order. If all the libraries can make you teachers, why anybody is unwise then? Don't you understand simple rule of the thumb? Crown of spirituality is bestowed. It can never, shall never, and will be ever conquered. Three things are not under your control. Love happens. Devotion and dedication is unlimited. And spirituality is, honor of spirituality is bestowed. You cannot earn it. You cannot buy it, and you cannot wangle it, you cannot manipulate it. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
No, you don't talk even. You can't even talk, yes, sir. What are you doing here? It means you are not alert. And you are not simultaneous. And you are not one voice. It is my job to freak you out. No, it's true. This is not a convention or convocation or some seminar or some workshop. Please forgive us. You are not come here to make your presence very pretty. You have come here to be roughed up and brought to the essence. Don't come ever to a class to become teachers if you do not have the determination. I shall not go from here without going into myself be a teacher. With that determination, you will get it. This is not a fashion class or a business class. It is a class to become teacher which can command the tattvas, the elements. 4 elements and heaven and earth, 6. Price, teachers are always put on the cross or on the stake or betrayed by their students. That must happen. Your end will be very earthly unpleasant because you shall be tested for heavenly endorsement. Is that understood? Buddha was poisoned by his own most trusted disciple. Lord Rama was betrayed by his own archer. Lord Krishna was denied by his most powerful devotee. Hazrat Muhammad never had a good time. Never. That man had to pick up a sword to fight for his very day of existence. Teacher life is not a life of glamour and people touching the feet and your sermons and all your beauty, you think wonderful things about him. And his gorgeous aura and his way of showing things. Because he can bring God and itself into at his will. That is granted to him. But on the other side, price of this is, he is the only one who sits on the fire and just smile. If you are not ready for the price, then don't allow people to touch your feet and say hello to you. The universe, Prakriti, the creation, shall serve you as a teacher. It's a privilege of Prakriti. But also, on the other hand, you shall stand insult, totally insulating yourself from it. A yogi is a person which is not God, and which is not human, and which is not angel, and which is not devil. Pair of opposite does not affect yogi. Neither the praise nor the insult. That's a yogi. But a teacher is the one whom the pair of opposite does not affect, and to the ugliest and to the bountiful, he or she only blesses. Suffering is honor. Teacher suffers both ways. Teachers suffer in serving, teachers suffer in commanding, teachers suffer in chiseling, teachers suffer in blessing. Teachers suffer all personal sufferings because teacher is the example of guidance through the time and space, and time and space is the test, and test comes only through suffering, and qualifying through suffering gives you the contentment and happiness that you are everlasting, infinitely immortal. That's how teachers become immortal. So long you cannot rise above pain and pleasure, desire and demand. Doesn't matter how many scriptures you know and how much charming you are. I have seen teachers seducing students, not for sex, for everything. Everything. What a insult to a status. Why a teacher has to seduce? Would want to seduce him. God wants to seduce him. Maya wants to seduce him. There's not one thing which can exist which shall not seduce. Sensory system is just to seduce a teacher. Why you're so in a hurry? Wait. Become teacher and see how things comes to you. They don't come to you. You are a vehicle In you there is a purity and piety of a teacher that you must protect and serve. Then out of your word will become humans which will be invincible, blessed, bountiful, beautiful, and in bliss. And you shall rule the time and space. And your generations will be happy, healthy, and holy. This 6 to 8 inches penis is not Venus. And your 2 balls are not eyeballs, and they do not give you the 3rd ball to see heaven and earth at the same time. Therefore, you are born blind, you live blind, and you die blind. Agyanantam martam martam martam. The unknowledgeable dies, dies, dies. Sensory system does not give you the common 6th sense. And if you can prostitute this life which you earned and the chance which is blessing that you can become teacher, you let it go. Start from the cockroach. Marrying to a saint is the right thing. After that, you know what life is? Squirrel. You know that thing which collects those nuts, runs on the birds? Very pretty animal. These are all wives of the great teachers who never saw them as teachers. They were not become cockroach, but one life above it. Have you talked to them? No? Talk to them. They talk. Because their next life was wife of a great teacher. They are very blessed animals. Sometimes go there. Take some food. She will do very kissing and tail, and they are very good. They are very friendly. You don't have to listen to them. Just decode their body language. You'll find them. They are pretty. You are attracted to them. Have you seen those teachers who have never obeyed their teacher? And have you seen those men who have never honored their being teacher? All dogs with fallen ear. Have you seen them? We call them dumb dogs. You buy the smartest dog, at 6 months he will become dumb. That's a teacher. So what I'm saying, it is not very professionally likable that you want to become teacher, because there comes a responsibility with this power. You think people touch your feet, people bow you, you bless you. You understand what is waiting for you? For what? One mistake. You are only to commit one mistake. If you miss what you are supposed to take, that's the next line. Do you want to continue this course or you want to go home? Teacher doesn't hear, he's deaf. He doesn't speak, he's dumb. He doesn't see, he's blind. He just carries the teachings. Never amends it. Never adds to it. Never subtract it. Gur ka shabd alada. The teaching of the teacher is infinite. You don't interpret it, you just respectfully carry it to another, and that to another, and that to another. When you do this, all knowledge will come to you. Everything will dawn to you. Your teacher will speak in you. Your teacher will guide in you. When people do not respect you because is a wife or a man, they divorce you, they insult you, they demand on you. It's not you they are attacking. Like moth attacks the candle. Your all relatives will insult you. When a dog has a collar and a chain, the entire street dogs become a reception committee and bark. Your own children will bark at you. Your own wife will insult you. Your own father and mother will abandon you. Finally, my dear teachers, you will be left are those who have more earth and less heavens, because your path is heavens. Not only your heavens, but you have to give people heavens. That is your virtue as a teacher. You are not prostitutes. You are not spiritual prostitutes. You are spiritual power. As a teacher, it's your destiny to grant heavens, and whom you grant, God cannot have the power to refuse. That's your power, ordinary power. When you bless, angels obey. Why do we get upset? If you don't believe my words, see the life of Nanak. Read the life of those who have taught the word and see their sufferings. Because God sees to it that their attachment is never fulfilling. Because teacher is the Lord of heavens, earth is always testing in vengeance. In vengeance. You don't have to ask. Teacher only prays one thing, Sarbat da Para. My Lord God, my Creator, who have given the responsibility to carry me this, carry all in essence to prosperity, make them beautiful, bountiful and blissful. Teacher does not draw the line. Teacher does not discriminate. Teacher doesn't say no. Teacher doesn't refuse. Teacher is always a victim of jealousy, intrigues, treachery, betrayal, slander. Because teacher is the one institution which is an easy target. But does teacher feel all that? No. He smiles. I go every morning, all those dogs bark at me. I say, well, you never listened to me last time, now you're barking at me for what? That's my reception committee. I go through them every morning. They never listen then, they never listen now. They bark then, they bark now. They're all my relatives. What's wrong in that? Everybody has a soul. Every soul is related in this time and space. What they're different is somebody's in a body of a dog or a cat or a rat or a cockroach. We are all the same. Soul is the same. You see different. You see God is different and dog is different. You think people who insult you, you praise you? Don't you understand it's a balanced word? Praise and insult is all in equilibrium, is in balance. Prayer and prestige, in prayer you are humble, in prestige you are dominant, is in balance. There cannot exist anything in the universe which is not in balance. And there is nothing can grow which is not in harmony. You know what my principal word is? When somebody said you will find me always smiling. Because that moment a man is individually prostituting me. They do not see me as an institute. They see me as a prostitute. And that happens to every teacher. People always see you as individual. And you must know and see and believe and trust you are never an individual. Your I is for you as an institute. Teacher is an institution for help, for service, for raising people consciousness and granting them heavens. And he is the grantor. He or she, whatever he is the grantor. Teacher is the grantor. The other person life become heavenly. So you are teaching for $10 or $15 class, you are not in the right job. And don't get by the charm of a teacher. You know, in this planet, I have not met one man who has not, Yogi ji, how many students you got? How many ashrams you have? You have done a wonderful job. And I look at myself, am I all right? Yeah. What do I do? Teacher only see the flow of God and is just a vehicle. Have you seen water tap in buildings? Where you press the button and water comes and you quench your thirst and you leave? Understand? Yes, so there are some souls, they come to you and you are the water tap. They press and bow and open their mouth and you threw the nectar of wisdom to give them the heavens. Beyond that, you are damn nothing. If you think you are anything other than that, your karma will catch up with you. But on the other hand, when a thirsty has that in his mouth, oh God, wow. In absolute ecstasy, then man chants the mantra of ecstasy. Vaheguru. Sometime on a sonogram, hear your heart in a loud 3 frequency. Vaheguru. Vaheguru. Funny sound. Take a stethoscope, put it in your ear, put it in your heart. Listen to yourself. What a big noise is there. Hum, hum, brum, hum, 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 brum, hum. 4 wells opens and closes. But what do? You don't listen to that. You're a Jew, you're a Christian, you're a Sikh, you're a Muslim, you're a Hindu. I don't know, who the hell are you? Nobody knows that. So long your eye, this eye will never open. And so long this eye will never open, it doesn't matter how much you do, parties, trade, this, business, politics, you shall never be respected. Remember this. If your presence cannot command respect, your orders won't. Don't waste your words. If a person doesn't understand your body language, he will never understand your spoken language. So become very dedicatedly delicate and essential. Rule 1, you must look smart. Art of a teacher is, I'm teaching you the art. Art of a teacher is look smart, be smart, talk straight, never be right or wrong, always be neutral. Speak through the positive mind, not negative mind, from the neutral mind. And whenever you have to confront a calamity or a player thing, take the altitude. Take the adjust the attitude. Do not react right away. Somebody say, "Ah, Yogi ji, you are great." Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yogi ji is never great. Great is the maker of Yogi ji. Don't forget. Yogi ji is never great is the maker of Yogi ji. And don't forget the maker. The day you forget maker, you will be just shaken. Do not get attached to the giveth. Be attached to the giver. Denda de, lainde takpa, juga jugatr khai kha. Giveth gift. Those who take it, they get tired. Through time infinite, these rules have prevailed. Learn to communicate through common notion. Communication means common notion. Notion is to declare yourself. Let know. Let know that I'm a teacher, I'm a vehicle, I'm a pipe, I bring you the teachings. They are not mine. Don't you see in a class sometimes people say, should I close my eyes? And I say, I didn't read that. I don't know. Close or open as you choose. I never asked. I was a very good student. You can learn by questioning, or you can learn by blessing. When you learn by blessing, you will be bestowed the crown of spirituality, and then Almighty God will love you and shall serve you, because His entire nature will be at your command. But when you will question, you will go into the cycle of birth and death forever. And that's the price you shall pay. Because where there's a doubt, man will never find the route. When you will obey, there's nothing to say. I tell you what happened. I was tested once. I was in Los Angeles. And this Swamiji is my friend, very good friend. Very good friend. I really respect him and love him too. His 5 main directors came flying all the way Met me, I talked to them in private. They say, well, Swamiji has gone insane. Swamiji has said this thing. And they showed me the paper. I looked at the paper. I said, the orders are wrong. Are you sure they are signed by him? Yeah. Yogiji, we have come, he's your friend, you call him and let him know this is not right. You understand that? Very clear thing. I said, no, I will not call him. Why? I say, he's my friend, but he's your teacher. He has given you in writing to do this. Is that true? Yes. I say, just go and do it. Yogiji, you understand what it means? I say, I understand. It's wrong. And very, very great damage will happen. I know. But you have come for counseling, is that true? Yeah. I said, then I advise you go back and tell Swamiji, we have a good meditation and we have decided to obey your orders and we are going to implement it. So they went, they did it. Swamiji said, wait a minute. What we wrote? Show me the paper. He saw the paper. He says, it's not correct. We tore up the paper. They called me. Thank you for calling Swami. I said, no, not a bit. I didn't call. But he tore up the paper. I said, God is a teacher too. He was testing you guys. If God would not have come at that moment, then the institution of a teacher would have fallen. That is not the will of God. Are you sure, sir? I say, did I ever lie to you guys? I told you I didn't call. He did it on his own? I say, yep. And there's another foolishness which Kundalini teachers do. They mix so many things. Astrology, numerology, tarot card, yum, you, bananas, titanas. They are afraid to cover their head when they teach. They want to be very popular. If you want to sell yourself, sell in the open market. Then do not take a profession as a teacher. Don't insult this institution. You will be in the end, will be sorry and regret. Teachings are never for sale and teacher is never for price. You are priceless, granted by one who made this universe. Teacher is the honor. Teacher is the personal honor of God Himself. Otherwise, just a simple law. If teacher is not protected by the Creator, teachings are not protected by the Creator, insanity will be the rule of the universe. But it has to be in balance. Sanity and insanity. Therefore, the institution of a teacher shall have to be protected, whether God likes it or not. Is a rule of the thumb, is a law of the existence. And when you purely teach, and you teach purely teachings, you shall not be offended. Tested? Yes. Insulted? Yes. Betrayed? Yes. Spitted at? Yes. But will you in the end lose honor? No. Will you not be worshipped? Yes, you will be. There's no way. Because through you only God can prevail. God has no other channel. But God prevails through teacher, and teacher is a balance, and each balance is that which has two equal coins. A coin has two sides, tail and... So people will talk your tail, and people will love to chop off your head. And if you are willing to accept this, you can be a perfect teacher. First person who attacks you will be your wife. Second will be your relatives. Third will be your students. Fourth will be your intimate friends. And fifth, you will be seduced and induced to everything called temptation. Just remember, this comes with the territory. Because under every candle there is a dark shadow. It's not that you are a bad teacher. People, those who are intimate with you, intimacy brings contempt. Therefore, do not worry about that contempt. They are innocent. When I go to India, all these people tell me, what do you care for poor Indians? Those white-skinned gringos, you just love to teach them. What's wrong with us? I say, it's not wrong, you are rotten. When they sit 3 days, 9 o'clock to 6:30, go through all what they go through, you can't go through 30 minutes of it. That's open, you can come there too. Did we have ever stopped anybody to come to the summer classes? Did we tell them not to do sadhana there with us? When we go through the white tantric, do we refuse anybody? But you need steel butts to sit through those hours. In Kundalini Yoga, you need steel butts, steel determination, and steel self. And that has to be white, stainless steel. There's no other way. Come on, we have 11 minutes, and we are going to do it. Come on, ready?
Yes, sir.
Shame on you. I taught you this morning, in the afternoon you forgot. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
That's better. That's reasonable. This is called Gyan Sudha Simran Kriya. It's a long name. Gyan Sudha Simran Kriya is the sacred Kriya of Kundalini Yoga. Put your hands like this and put your fingers as wide they are. Now watch this. This looks easy. They're going to blow you a cover soon. And take these elbows by your rib cage. It's called guidance of the soul. If perfected by a man, person shall have power over death, life, not of himself and herself, but all what there is. These 3 fingers, please open wide. Just watch this. Understood? Hands are here, right? Your lower back will move. Your butts will be up the ground. That much shock is there. Put the tape. I'll relax and watch how you can do it. When I did it, I had a pain 3 days. I remember my days. You have the tape? Utter no word.
Hare
it is joking. More you go in pain, more you must push. A status will come and there will be no pain. And these three fingers must remain apart and stiff. Understood? We'll give you 3 more minutes. You can get it or forget it. Well, you have come here to become teachers of tomorrow. A man shall have, on the press of the button, on the 40 mega trillion information units. And they can't handle that chaotic insanity. You shall be the hope. What do you think you are? Persons? Girls and boys? Women and men? Then learn to confront calamity, pain, and hazardness and overcome it. Now. Power, give yourself power. Good. Like this, if you would have done it, you would have got experience. You cheats. Now you're doing right. But I am to say good night to you because my time is up. I have to teach a class over there. Anyway, you missed it. We'll do it tomorrow, okay?
Yes, sir.
You have not learned to speak from the navel. You have not speak from the navel. You will never to be alert. And if you will not be alert, you shall not have a mastery over time and space. It's a simple rule. Why don't you understand science? 2 and 2 makes 4. It's not going to make 5, not going to make 3. Rules are rules. Those who have to rule shall obey the rule. And that's the principal need here. Reverence shall not need reference. Obedience shall command the sensory system of being. And you will become human. Otherwise, you shall remain in the body of a human, a earthling which has no future, but comes on the earth to pick up the next lifetime in the animal kingdom or in the birds. Soul has his own power. Soul has a purpose to be redeemed. You come from infinity, go through the finite, unto infinity you must exit. You must have infinite power to do that. You have come from? Infinity. You have come to? Finite. And you shall exit to? Infinity. By your will. That's why God gave you the will. The finest will of the infinite God is that you must exit to the infinite will. And you can do that only when you shall understand that you are absolutely absolute to obey the command so that you absolutely can command. Must please have clarity and understanding. There's nothing outside than you. It's already in you. This is a very simple thing. When a woman loses reverence to a man, that man becomes her reference. There's no relationship. It's over, finished. When a man loses to protect the woman, man loses the prospect of life. There's no two lies about it. It's very simple. You must know it. So you must understand the fundamentals. You have to become total to know the total. You must learn to obey totally, to command totally. It's a simple balance. There is no God but you. Ad Puran, Mad Puran, Ant Puran, Parmeshwara. In the beginning you are perfect, in the middle you are perfect, in the end you are the perfect God. That's your merging point. Otherwise, cycle and recycle. You are no different than Coca-Cola bottles and paper bags. I am not teaching you a class here. I am helping you to become teachers. You have come here to become teachers. And once you become teachers, God shall pay you respect, reverence, and you shall have beauty, bounty, and bliss. If you fail, time shall nail you into the cycle of birth and death. Half of the life is in water, half of the life is in the air and on the earth. Denial is the cockroach. Indifference is the squirrel and the dog. That's why you can't get rid of dogs. There's so many. They end up in pounds and shelters. They never obeyed. I wish they should have obeyed God's will at that time. What was wrong with them? They were upset. They came here to finalize. You have taken a courage. Isn't it life that matters, the courage you bring to it? You have taken a courage, you have come here. It's all new to you. And I am unknown to you. Please forgive me. I'm trying to be very polite and as gracious I can be. But that is against me being as a teacher. So I'm bearing my own insult and living in my own corruption to teach you as politely I can. But normal our relationship is between a stone and a chisel of time and hammer of a teacher. You must go fully chipped, shaped and polished. And for that, if you are dishonest in your cooperation, you will not get the psyche to invoke in you the rise of your will. And it's your will, and at your will, God's will must obey. Therefore, you must learn to obey first. There's no miracle about it. It's a simple scientific law. Cause must have effect, and effect must create impact, permanent and infinite. Good night.